Welcome to the Berea podcast. This is Troy.
This is Della. Troy, I am so happy that today you're going to get to meet one of the most important people in my life.
Oh, really?
Yes. She's my hairdresser.
And it's very true. We do have a guest in the studio.
Yes.
This is exciting. So Introduce our guest, Stella.
Our guest is Melody Richmond. She is, as I said, my hairdresser. And when you move to a new town, it is super duper important to find that person who can do your hair. And I have found her. But that's not why she's here today. She's actually here to talk about something that came up when I was just in her chair, and all these, when you get to know somebody and you go at least once every 4 to 6 weeks, not depending on how often you have to have it colored, but when you go and then you just get to chit-chatting. And what I discovered about Melody is that she has a huge love for birds who visit Kentucky. So I wanted us to have her on and talk about spring.
And here specifically in Berea, those that travel, right?
Yes.
So, Melody, where do you cut hair?
I work at Creative Styles in Berea.
Where is that specifically in Berea?
It's in Boone Square Mini Mall.
Okay. Appointments are available, correct?
Appointments are available. Always taking new clients.
Good deal, good deal. All righty. Tell us about this. See, this was so interesting. When Della would come in, I would say, well, what did you all talk about? And she would say, we have to have her on the show because she knows so much about purple martins.
Purple martins.
Okay, so why are they a special bird, and why are you so excited about them?
Well, they're just a very peaceful bird. They come here.
What is a non-peaceful bird?
Well, that's true. That's true. There's not one bird that I don't love.
Della's got a rooster story.
I'm not going to tell that story.
But it is a non-peaceful bird, right? Roosters.
Right.
Okay.
Roosters, big white roosters that chase you around are not peaceful birds.
Right.
So before Melody starts, though, I'm going to tell you, Melody. So when you started talking about the purple martins when I was in your chair, it brought back to me, years ago I worked for a gentleman who one time talked to me about purple martin gourds.
Yes.
And he just talked about purple martin gourds. I did not know where one letter ended and the other began. Yes. Purple martin gourds. I did not know what he was saying. Mm-hmm. I did not know what we were talking about. Is this a planet? Is this an animal? I did not know what a purple martin gourd was, right? I was like, where does the break in that, right?
Yes.
So if you could first tell everyone what a purple martin and/or purple martin gourd is.
Okay, so you can do houses, or you can also do gourds. There's just it's actual, just like a gourd you grow, but they are called birdhouse gourds, and they get pretty good size. But you want their house to be probably about 6 to 8 inches in width and probably about 12 inches in length, just because you want to have enough room. But it started way back with the gourds. This is how it started.
Okay.
Back in the natives with the Indians and everything, they used to hang gourds around their teepees. And the reason they do that, they would attract these birds because they eat mosquitoes, any kind of bugs, dragonflies. They love to be around ponds because they eat any kind of bug of that sort. So they would hang their gourds up around their teepees. So they started training these birds in some sense to pretty much move in, keep the bugs away from us is kind of what their job was to do. Okay. So it goes all the way back. So that's how the gourds started. To attract the birds, you can have the houses, but to get a good attraction to them, if you have gourds hanging from your houses, they're used to those gourds. So therefore they will come to your house quicker if you kind of attract them with the gourds. So that's how the gourds started. Okay. And that's why it's a constant, continuous thing about getting the gourds.
So what is a purple martin? It's a kind of bird.
It's a swallow.
It is a swallow. Okay.
It is the largest. There's about 8 different types of swallows, but it is the largest of the swallows. And they're not really big birds. Their wingspan is probably, when they're flying, is probably the biggest part because their wingspan is really large, probably like 10 inches wide.
Okay.
But their bodies are really small. But when you see them fly, it's almost like, it reminds you of an airplane because they soar, an eagle, because they soar, but they kind of sway side to side.
Okay.
It's like a jet is the way they look.
Okay. And do they live here year-round, or
no,
where do they come from?
They come from Brazil originally.
Okay.
They spend their winters in Brazil, and they'll start flying. Mine just got here 2 days ago.
So you've got some.
I got 2 couples, well, two full adults. There's 2 different kinds. There's males, and then there's subadult males, which is the younger ones. But I have 2 subadults and 2 males. And then the mothers come later on. The subadults and the males, the older males, which is 2 years or more, they'll come in and kind of find the homes for the family.
Do you get the same ones every year?
Every year.
They are. So it's the same family.
It's the same family.
Wow.
So they'll start flying from Brazil. They'll migrate, and then they'll fly in from Brazil, and they'll land at certain places throughout the area, and they'll just kind of migrate there, and then they'll just spread out in the mornings and constantly. They'll fly to 300 miles a day just to get where they're going.
And along the way, they don't stay in gourds.
They kind of migrate into there was a place I was watching the other night actually, and there's a place they kind of migrate in over a lake in North Carolina, and they'll just kind of migrate there until they can find, because their breeding time does not start till like the middle of April.
So is that what they come here for then?
Yes.
Is to breed? And this is where they
is where they lay their eggs. And just because in North America there is longer hours in the day, so there's more feeding time for them. So therefore, that's why they tend to eat. They have more time to eat and feed their babies. They lay their eggs only here, and then they fly back. They usually are gone by, last year they was gone by 4th of July.
Really?
And they start
They're
flying
only just
back
here for a few
literally
months?
like 3 months.
That.
Yes.
Wow. And do they live in gourds then in Brazil too?
To be honest, I'm not sure about how Brazil is,
sure.
but they are so trained here that I think they probably would, or they would just migrate in one location.
Okay.
They live in Gordos.
That was funny, I think. I'm not sure, actually, but it seemed funny. So that's really, so you get the same family. So you'll see the babies hatch, fly, and then, so how did you get into this?
I have loved them for a long time, just watching them. And my husband, I aggravated him to death. Please put me a house up. Because, you got to have them men to put them posts in the ground, right? Because their posts, they go all the way up to almost, you have to have your pole has to be at least 12 to 14 foot high.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and the house has to sway. They like the swaying.
They do. Like a branch.
Right.
Of some sort. Okay.
So my husband done all that for me, and I got one house, and it has a total, I think, of 16 homes in it. And then I have 3 gourds that has additional 3 homes on it.
Okay.
So.
Oh, let me go ahead and interject now that we're going to take pictures of those.
Yes.
So you'll actually see what a purple martin, what is that, pole?
It's a pole, yes, and the house is on top of it.
Okay, so we'll see lots of those in
yes.
there. Okay.
And
are your gourds decorated? Or
no, I bought all my stuff online. It's S&K.
Okay.
It's birdhouse. You can get them online.
Okay.
And they're more, now, I did grow some, and they done great. But the thing is, with the way the hole is on the house, you want to make sure that you have a moon-shaped hole, because you have starlings that are very vicious.
I've heard
they
this.
kill.
Yeah,
Yes, they are terrorizers to them. You have English sparrows that terrorizes them. You have owls. You have certain birds that really are trying to take over their homes. So the holes of your house is very important. You can't. So to me, cutting out something perfectly, the diameter on it is not good.
Okay.
So I wanted something sturdy. So I actually ordered mine, and they do great. Because
I wonder if we've got anybody local that does that too. Do you don't know that?
I don't
so maybe
know.
we could look around and see also. That would be interesting, yeah.
But I know the college, they have, there at the garden, there when you're coming up past Near New, there at that garden, they have a set of gourds. They have them.
Okay, I didn't know that. Did you know that? Where's Near New? What's Near New?
Near New.
That's where the giant bull is.
The giant bull that you
I was like, I was not seeing NEAR, NEW.
Yes.
I was like NRNU. I was like, what's Near New? Okay.
And also where the greenhouses is, going down Scaffold Cane Hill, they also have multiple gourd hanging.
Okay.
So Berea College is really good about that. They also support.
Oh,
and they really bring, when they come in, they have a place for them to go to. So
great. Do you put food out for them?
you can actually, like, whenever, like if they had come in last week when we had that snow that come in, it would have been a bad week. So actually, when you look on the map, they kind of swirled around us for a week because of our weather, because they live literally off mosquitoes, anything. And so when the temperature is not above 45, you have to try to feed them. So if I have a couple, like here in the next couple of weeks, there'll probably be a couple of days that it's 45, 35. They can't eat during those days. They could go about a day or two, but not long. So to be honest, me and my boys, we'll get out there and we'll flick mealworms up to them.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they'll catch them, but it really takes a lot of training. You got to pretty much train them that they know it's okay to do that, you know. But sometimes we have done that. And some people say that they cook like raw eggs, but that was kind of, and they say it works, but I've not tried that just because I'm thinking a bird eating a chicken. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I've not.
That's funny.
I would think the mealworms would do better. So if we have long stretches of cold weather, I do try to put something out for them, hang it on the house, just so that I know that they're getting something.
So how many years have you been doing this now?
This is my 4th year. Okay. I started with one male and female. And if my husband was here, he would tell you the story. Because they have a dawn call. They start chirping at about 4 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So when you're starting your new house, you want to start calling them in about that time. So literally for 2 weeks, because when you're starting a new house, you want to have your house up by April 15th.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
April 15th is your deadline because that's when your subadults are coming in to find their home before your females come in. So for about 2 weeks, I would sit out on his tailgate of his truck with this dawn song playing over and over. He's like, you have literally been up since 3:30. Yes, I'm getting my Martins home. So that year I got a set, a male and a female. And that was the only set I got.
Were you so excited, though?
Oh, I was tore up.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sit out in the yard, just sit there and look and just talk to them. But then, of course, they had babies. The next year, them and their babies come back. So that year I had 4, I think. Last year was the year that I had 8 families all together. So already, usually when they come in, I'll have 2 or 3 to start. But yesterday morning, I had 2. This morning I got up, I had 2 more. So they're starting to fly in. So I've already got 4 adults,
so
4
how do
males.
you know? Do you see them? I mean, you see them out by the house?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can hear it. Their chirp is a different, they make a clicking. It's almost like a clicking sound.
Okay.
Their song is different from anything else. Once you know that song, you just know it. So, and they swerve. Like I say, they'll fly around their house and they'll kind of sway. And they're just pretty amazing to watch.
And are they actually purple? Are they actually
They are dark purple.
Okay.
The male, the full-grown male, which is after 2, is when they turn completely purple. It's almost like a dark violet. But unless the sun's on them, it looks like black. They look black.
Okay.
And then the subadult male, which is a 1-year-old male, he's kind of mostly purple feather, but he's speckled chest, kind of gray. Okay. And then the female, she's got just a little gray on her tail, wings, and a little bit on her wings.
And no purple?
No, not much purple.
That is just the way it always goes.
But isn't that it? They're always vibrant. The males are.
They are.
And
yes, we are.
It's a lot harder to get a woman.
Yeah.
We're not as desperate.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
So they're pretty amazing. They really are.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school for Purple Martin husbandry?
I just Google is my purple. Yeah, Google. You can learn anything about it, and you can download the Dawn song. You can. I mean, there's so much information. And I also am a member of the Purple Martin Conservation, which is whenever they come home, I log it on this website, and it automatically puts it up there. So like last week, because this time of the month, I'm like, where are they at if they haven't got here? Which this was the first year. It was early this year. Usually, I think year before last, I think I got them like the 29th of the month, and I think after that it was like in the middle of April. So every year it's different. It's just according to the weather.
Well,
but
this year everything's early. Like Easter's early. I mean, it seems like a lot of things are early this year. I don't know what that has to do. What Easter being early has to do with it, but it could be related.
Yes.
I don't know exactly.
But on that Purple Martin Conservation, it allows you to log when they come. So next year, I'm like, well, wasn't they here by this time? I can get on there and see. And plus, it also shows all around the United States where these birds are at this time. So people can be like, oh, I've got them here, I've got them here. And it kind of shows you, it's like it's coming up the map. And so you can see if they're close or not.
So you really did know they're like around you with that weather.
Yeah, with the map. Yeah, it literally on the map, it's like Kentucky's here. And it's like they was up here and below us, but they wasn't on Kentucky yet because of our weather, of what it was last week. So,
do you have names for them since they're
No, I don't, because I can't tell them apart that well. Because they all really look,
but
all the males
look
like.
But you can just make up their names.
Yes, I just say, hi, honey. I'm so glad you made it home. You look so tired, but I'll take care of you for the next 3 months. You will be fine.
Now, you mentioned that you also love your bluebirds. So I don't know very much about bluebirds. So
I love
this is not a blue jay.
No, this is the eastern bluebird.
Okay.
Eastern bluebird. I have those in my front yard as well. And I love them. They're just a beautiful bird. They're also a mosquito eating. Mealworms is mostly their diet. Mm-hmm. And they're just a beautiful bird to watch too.
Are they here year round?
They are here year round.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. They pretty much stay here. You won't see them that much during the cold winter times, but and actually they don't nest in my house in the winter. So they must go and migrate up, but you will see them out in the yard on warmer days throughout the fall and winter times.
Okay. So you have a birdhouse though for them too?
Yes.
So do they live in houses then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Not
they do.
just nests in the trees.
No.
Or on your shoulder.
Yes. Yes.
Like Snow White.
Yeah.
Or what's that song, Mr. Bluebird? I'm not.
There you go.
I know. What's that from? What is that song from?
It's Song of the South.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So thinking practically for a moment, how much money do you have all into your Purple Morton?
Invested
hobby?
probably not really. Maybe like 150 in my pole, in my house, in my gourds. Not really that much. It's
That's
really
awesome.
not that bad. And my house has lasted me. This is its 4th year. And it's done really good. So it's not a bad investment. For a hobby, you know what I'm
For as
saying?
much pleasure as you've gotten out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Because I knew how enthusiastic you were when you were talking about it at the shop. That just how much you loved it.
I do. I love it. People think I'm crazy sometimes, but I do. They're just a peaceful thing. You know, I can have a long day at work, and especially at this time, I can just go outside, and it's just peaceful, and it's just calming. You know,
Yeah.
and nature is amazing to me because it always takes care of itself. No
Yeah.
matter what, it always, so that's just pretty, I love that about it. You know, they feed their young, they know exactly, they come back to the same house. I mean, how amazing is that?
That's so
to
amazing
fly
to me.
that far and come back to the same home every year and bring their children back to that same place. That's just amazing. So,
but now when you were doing your dawn call, trying to get your first tenants,
yes.
were you stealing from somebody else?
Well, that's what, and see, I have a neighbor, on down the road. Her brother had a lot of them, and he had recently, at that time, kind of got sick and kind of took all his down. And so I was like, well, that one, we got to make homes, And I was like, but he got rid of his houses, but a lot of them was kind of falling down and stuff. So I was like, well, I'll find a house for him. And she's like, well, my brother just took his down. I said, well, I'll have a home for them. They'll be fine. So, but once you get, because probably in the next year or so, if I have all the couples that I have come back, I'm going to have to get more houses.
Yeah.
Which would be okay, but I don't want to have a big yard full in the backyard of all these gourds.
Is it a lot of bird dew?
Not really. Okay. They're very clean. They are very clean.
Okay.
They even, sometimes the babies will outside of the house. Even when they're, you know what I'm saying? They're very clean birds. Very clean birds.
Wait, so you have to clean it?
No, I don't clean it throughout the time they're there.
Okay.
But I do nest checks just to make sure everything's good. And then when I do,
You said
do. But I do nest checks when they are there. But whenever the season's over, yes, you always need to bleach and clean your house just in case of any kind of bird lice or any kind of death. Because sometimes, sadly enough, you will lose a baby. A baby will be left behind because when it's time to migrate, they normally want, but there's been a few times that they've just left a baby behind just because it's something bad's coming, weather's coming, and animal, they know
gotta
better.
Move on.
They have to. Yeah. They know something's coming. It's time to go. And so that's happened before. When I've cleaned my house, there'll be one that's dead inside. Something's happened. So, but those are sad times. But
what a great landlord. Just do my nest checks and I clean it up every year.
It becomes an addiction, especially when you have these eggs and then they're hatching and you start, within 21 days they're grown, but you just watch them go through this. And the mothers will be on the nest, and if you check it, she'll just sit there and look at you. She don't come out. She don't. They want landlords. They depend on us to take care of them.
So these nests are 12 feet up in the air. Mm-hmm. How do you do these nest checks?
My pole retracts. It comes down.
Oh.
So I can lower it eye level, almost about here to me because I'm short, but almost eye level to me. I have to get a little stool to step up.
And the birds are okay with that?
They're good. They want you to be honest. That's why they want, whenever you put your house up, you want it to be pretty close to your house. They want to be close to your home. They don't want any trees. You want it to be an area there's not a lot of trees because owls and hawks and everything can hide in those. So they want a good, clear area. They want to be close to a pond. So, but they like being close to humans.
Right. And actually, when Della talked to, her old boss about them, they said that, they need that.
Mm-hmm,
so,
they do.
So there's a whole species dependent not on domestication. They don't come in and eat out of their bowl, but there's this wonderful in-between where they... are near you, and they help out with the bugs and all.
Yes.
But that is what they need. That's neat.
I think it goes back to how back in the native times, they was hung on the teepees and they took care of the and that's just what they've grown to get used to, being close to humans. They just depend on us to kind of watch over them. And I do.
give them those gourds, right? Because that's where they find, that's the home they're looking for.
Right.
So that's what they've been conditioned over the years.
But only for 3 months out of the year. And
Yes.
then you can say, glad they're gone.
And it's such a sad day. No, I'm never glad. Because I'm really sad.
So you have the bluebirds for the other months. What else
Yes.
do you do on the other months?
Well, of course, I have cardinals.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that saying that says if you have cardinals in your yard, angels are coming?
No, I
watching
didn't know
over.
that.
You've never heard that?
No.
Well, they say if you have cardinals in your yard, that you have all these angels.
See,
I'm loaded with
that's
cardinals.
awesome.
So
That is
what
awesome.
I've heard from Troy is that if you see a cardinal in the
It's good
wintertime,
luck.
it's good luck. I'm like, Troy, we live in...
Wait, so wait,
guys,
pause that. You say yes, right?
Yes.
Isn't that good luck?
It is.
And Della every time says, we're in Kentucky. It's our state bird.
I mean, like,
They're
and
everywhere.
everybody sees them. Oh, and we're like, da-da-da.
So that's the magic that I
Yes.
live with.
Yes.
That's just the logic
We-
of it.
We need to get you some sunflower seeds, and you would have blue or redbirds, cardinals everywhere.
Oh, we have them.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just don't have that luck because everybody, and it's Kentucky, it's our state bird. Everybody has cardinals. This is it. But I bet not everybody thinks they're always lucky. That's what I think.
No, they are.
So you think so?
Yes.
Okay.
And see, we had never met before, and we both...
I think
You
they're
agree?
lucky.
You do?
No, it's beyond thinking. It's like we've heard it from
We've
other
heard it.
people.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But you
Imagine
are so
what we would be
lucky.
like without the... We'd be Mississippi.
I'm sure we don't say that. That will be edited out. Anyway. Okay. So, Melody, the other reason why I wanted to invite you on is because you have this field that you have this vision for near your house that you
Yes.
said what you would love to happen. So, you don't have to give us your exact address, but you could maybe tell us where the field is located
Yes.
and what you would like to see happen there.
I live on Shortline Pike here in Berea.
And where is that?
That is, it's across from Silver Creek School.
Okay. And that is not Shannon Johnson.
No,
It's not,
no.
Yep, not Sanderson, and that is not Berea Community Elementary School.
No.
Where is that one?
That is, Silver Creek is going down 1016. Yes.
North, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Going towards Richmond 1016.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
And so I live on the other end of Shortline, but probably about 10 years ago, they redone Shortline. It used to come to right
Used
before
to
you
be
go.
much longer.
Yes, and it didn't
was a
curve.
long line then?
It was more straight at the end, and it went right behind Johnson Cemetery, which is at the end of Shortline. But now they've kind of curved it around and kind of to get away from the bridge. Well, at the end, they have set up where you can go to the creek because Silver Creek runs right there at the end of Shortline. So they've set up like a bench. People go there and fish, but there's probably, I would say, an acre, maybe 2 acres there at the end. It's just nothing there.
Okay.
To me, I think it would be great to have bluebird houses or purple martin houses set up for people just to go sit and enjoy, and what not better thing to do to give them more homes,
Okay. So you'd like to see some sort of bird sanctuary?
Yes,
Kind of, not
why
sanctuary,
not?
would you say bird attractor?
Bird, yeah,
Just like there are the benches, just to have houses there.
Yes, just have houses there. People could
self-maintaining or something.
come and sit and enjoy them and, appreciate them like I do.
Oh, that'd
know?
be a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's your dream for that
That's,
field.
yes.
So if someone wanted to contact you about that project, or they were a fellow bird fan, is
Yes,
that right,
yes.
and
I
wanted to
think you're called
contact
birders. Are you
Birders?
Birders.
Do you have
Bird-
binoculars? Where you
I
actually
do.
Oh,
you.
I love it.
You need to include that into your cost.
Yeah, those was about $30.
Okay.
$30. So we went up to what? What was we at?
Wait, 1 to 1. So you're
Yeah.
at 150.
We're 150-ish.
Right.
So, yeah.
Good deal.
But, yeah, I have binoculars. I do watch them.
And those millworms.
Yes, those mealworms on
So-
the winter days.
So 190.
190.
Okay.
So,
But still, you're all in at 190, and
Yeah.
you've got 3 months of enjoyment.
yes.
That pales in comparison to a fishing boat.
Yes, exactly.
Or a
yes.
podcast studio.
Yes.
Hey. All right. Good deal. So if they wanted to contact you, how could someone contact you and say, I love purple martins too, or I've got some birdhouses for that field?
Melody Richmond 81 at Gmail, MELODYRICHMOND 81 at gmail.com.
Alrighty, good deal. So people reach out to her. If you didn't
Yes.
get that email address, it'll be on the BereaPodcast.com/Purple Martin.
Yes.
So go there, and all the show notes and the pictures will be available. Molly, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I am so glad you shared all of your passion for this. I am really, really happy.
I've enjoyed it.
Everybody else gets to hear.
Now I hope all Berea gets to love it. We'll just have a great big family.
Oh yeah, we could be a big home for the Purple
But we'll have to steal them.
Well, that's true. Let my house get full, then everybody come on in. Right?
Dawn call me.
Yes.
Whose Dawn call is that? Who's got that Dawn call?
Who is stealing my Martins? Somebody's trying to take
Who's up at 3:30 in the
That
morning?
gourd is just a little bit bigger than mine.
Yes. We'll have to add something to mine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
And if, again, go to thebereapodcast.com/Purple Martin, and all of our contact information is there. Do you have a passion that you want to come on the show and talk about? If it's Berea related, let us know.
And especially if it's spring related. We would love to feature some of the special things about Berea in the springtime.
Fact. Alrighty. Thanks so much. Until next week.
Bye.
Today is why I stay.